Hello everyone, and we are back again. And this time I continued with developing Total War 1942. And I'm creating the Artelian city now, which is from template. And on the screen you can see um, the things I did so far. So I did the following things. Created a mountain. And the mountain won't be so passable by tanks or any other units. So you can see like kind of holes in the underlay, and those holes are actually the positions of the gates. So you have a gate over here, on the west, on the south, over here on the east, and on the north part. Now I actually added the I used the Carthaginian city as a base setup, and I changed the borders a bit. So what are my plans? As you can see over here in the middle of the map, we have a lake and we have a mountain, and I will want to add some hills over here and a lot of trees over here and over here, and on the eastern side we will create the city. So as you can see now, we have different pavements. We have a mud road, a concrete road, and a bigger concrete road. So now see that both Twitch and YouTube are online. See that both Twitch and YouTube are online. See that both Twitch and YouTube. Okay. So let's continue now. So we have the base now for the pavements. Let's make it work. I want some residential areas in the north over here. So the first thing we do, let's first connect this road with the other one. So copy and make sure it connects well. So we're now working in the city overlay. Yeah, and increase the height a bit. Well, fair enough for me. It's just a city. Okay, so we now have connected this part to this road over here, so we will continue with this part. Good. Copy paste again. But now we will make a little bit of turn. Not that hard turn. And we will slide down this a bit. And of course, let's connect these roads with each other. So once again, I want some residential areas over here. And as this is an entrance as well. Let me check the chat first, please. Okay, let's continue. Yes, we added this road, and I don't want to mess up the. Don't want to have the big road to this side, because I want the big road only inside the city, the real city, I mean. So for now, we will make another turn, and then we will slightly return the road to the city. Let's connect those again. Let's render it. Okay, should be good enough for me. So that's that. We can go upwards here a bit. I know that there's a wall right over here, so I don't want to let the roads collide with the walls, because that's not how it works, of course. The problem is that you can't see the walls. I only have the outlay of the settlement, and I can actually try to get the walls, but that's a lot of work. You need to import every piece of wall, which is not that good for me, because well, I don't want to use my time for other things. Okay, so this piece, let's make it straight. And let's make it straight again. So I want like a church or something over here, and another hill, impassable terrain over here. So that when you come at this location, you might actually want to go around with your army to go to the square. And that's one thing we need to check as well. We need a capture square. So the first thing we do for that is have a look in the files. I have the Italian city over here, and look how big the target rectangle is. It's now this, the 128. Finally, my stream code is sharing that I'm streaming. Let me copy it. Let me change this a bit. Okay. So we have a width and a height over here, 128. So let's create a plane and make it 128 in length and 128 in width. Okay. So where do we want this square? Let's increase the height a bit so we can actually see it. Let's call it Plaza 128 times 128. So we now have the rectangle. And we need to place it somewhere. And it's quite big in my opinion. We can use another one. We can use the one of the large town, which is 52 by 52. Or we can create one ourselves without using a standard plaza. This is of course another alternative. And that's what the thing I did with the Abbey. I think I will go for that one, that option. So we need to make a square. Not that big, because that's all quarter of the map. So people come from this direction when attacking. This direction, this direction, this one, that direction. The east side is quite easy to get to the capture square. So we need to fix that issue somehow. But the thing we can do is to create a capture square over here. That sounds good for me. So yes, let's drag a square over here. 40, 50, 60 by 60. Let's have a look if that's correct. 60, not 0. We move it up a bit. And increase the height so we can actually see the square. Okay, so this looks nice for me. We convert it to a mesh and then call it Plaza 128 times 128. And we now have its position as well. So we now go to the Italian city. The x coordinate is this one. Use the negative because somehow every coordinate is the negative. The c is this one. Rotation 0. We can actually rotate it as well. No, we don't need that. We can do like this. Now use the old one. I prefer this one. So no rotation, and the width and the height are 60. So we now have a square as well. And well, of course, for now we don't have any texture for it. So we will use this one inside the scene root. So these are all the things which will be going in the overlay. Let's make it 0.1 or 0.05. The heights, so it's quite near to the ground. So these are all the material browsers, and we create a new one. We call it square diffused color. So let's have a look for a nice square texture. As you can see, I already added some, but square tiles, no. I use that for the German ones. Mm, do we see like a Italian version somewhere? Concrete block? No. We could actually use the Italian Abbey wall as a pavement. Is that a good idea? Yeah, let's try this one. So we make the material shaded so we can see it. Now we use the UV unwrap methods and we select every. I always like to use polygons or faces to that's a little bit easier. No, let's convert it to mesh. That sounds good enough for me. Okay. Um, so next thing we want to do is to move another street. So we make the capture square like being able to get there from all different sides. Yeah, this is good already. We copy and paste it again. We remove this part and we connect it with the other street. Increase the height to 0.1. Make the texture a bit better. So there we go. We now connected those streets in overlay. So for now we have a mountain, so a road between the mountain and the lake. Some Italian standards for houses from the large town. A fountain, some sand path road, and now we will continue with dragging it over here. Save it again. Good. And let's now connect the roads together. So we use a curved version. And we use that same curved version over here. Let's rotate it. Alright. So you know now what I'm going to do. I'm going to close this section of the road, the concrete roads. And after that, I'm going to test it inside the game. Now I have to rotate this section a bit. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, save it. And now we're going to export this. So we export the square as well. So we select everything, we delete all things we don't want to export for now. First make a save. Export the overlay. Successful. So now we have a look in the game. So we start the game. We continue the campaign. Quite good. So we here have an Artelian city over here. And let's view the settlement in the view. So as you can see, we have the lake over here, and of course still people are still wandering inside because there's no coalition yet. So we have a road in the middle. We have more road over here. We have some weird road over here. I'm not sure how to fix that yet, but I will just finish the road. So in here you can see a nice road, and here's a little bit darker somehow. And the square is quite good. I will need to delete the ground type first. So this will be the capture square. And this space is a little bit narrow, so I'm not sure how to fix that. And of course, here will be some kind of hill or something, a smaller mountain, which will provide, well, a more hard way to go to the place. And people are still wandering the mountain as well. So this entry over here, if you're attacking from the west, so you need your armies deployed here. I will add the road over here to the north part of the city or the south part. You can choose whatever you would like to, but you can't cross the mountain. So you have to go around, and of course some defenses over here might be quite tricky for you. And if you are the defender, and this wall lake will be a collision as well. If you are defender and the enemy is attacking from the east, you can place some units on the water over here, but you can also place self-propelled artillery on the bank here between the mountain and the lake. So they are quite covered, and people need to actually go here with the armies to destroy your artillery. But you can also place your howitzers and mortars over here. And the mortars can probably shoot over the mountain, which is very nice. And yes, indeed, the lake is quite big, but yeah, it's good for me. It's not that narrow, and it's a nice view. And of course, the city is quite large. So the residential areas will be over here, and the industrial area will be probably on this side and on the other side. And here's an entry as well. And I'm probably going to block this way over here. That would be quite nice. So you need to move all around to go to the capture plaza. Let me think about that. So I can just easily add some collision to some fake collision, so they need to move all around over here. And from this entry, I have some ideas as well. So as you can see, there's a road here to the right, but I think adding the hill over here and adding some kind of roadblock over here, some kind of destroyed wrecks or heavily defended areas, might be a very good solution in letting the enemy army moving all around. That's very nice. I'm going to do that. But that's only for the gates. As you can see, there's a gap over here. And that won't help me. So I'm probably replacing those gaps with walls. Solid walls. Yeah, well, let's see about that. So I do like this area. I can move a bit. I can place like one road here, then make another turn and go back. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we copy a road again. Okay, let's make the height 0.1. We copy this path as well, but we will move the latest entry and rotate it. And we now place it over here. So I think we crossed the walls almost. I'll copy and paste both of these entries like this. Should be okay now. What's wrong with this wall? Never mind. Somehow the height was wrong. So we need a curved road again. So we use this section. Don't worry, it will be fixed. I can start the curve over here. And then curve it a little bit more over here. And the curve is finished over here. So we copy and paste that one and move it. And then rotate it. Rotate the road. Okay. Should be good. Probably colliding with the wall over here. We will fix that when that's the issue. So, okay, that's good for the overlay right now. So, we will now create the hill. So how am I going to create the hill? It's quite easily actually. So I create a plane with 6 and 5 segments. Place it over here. Good. Then we're going to remove unused segments and make the hill a little bit. Now, of course, it's the flat hill now, but let's make it more like the hill we want to see. Okay, a little bit wider on this side. Okay. So we now have a flat hill, of course, it's flat. We make a duplicate of it. No, we call it hill. Save it, and we now open the underlay. So the underlay is the actual format which says what height and depth the terrain has. So you can see there's no overlay here, so no roads, but that's not an issue because we created Italian city. Oh, Italian city overlay 2. the hill? Good. So the hill's at the same position as the position of the overlay. So the first thing we need to remove this hill from the underlay. As you can see, the underlay already has terrain over here for the hill. So if you just place the hill above it, it will be very laggy and you will have some glitches. So to do that, we'll make a copy of the hill, a duplicate, a clone. We call it hill 001, it's good for me. We then select all the sides. We use extrude and we move it up. Then we move it down. We enable the underlay and to move it down. We need to deselect first. We move it down. So we now have an object and the underlay is splitting over here, the flat area. So we now use the compound object, the boolean. We have the underlay selected and we select hill 1. So now it's merged. We convert it to mesh. Select the polygon. It will select all of the object. Delete. And we can now, as you can see, delete all sections of the hill. So if I disable the hill, you can see some piece over here. We now have a gap, and that's what we want. Save. We now select the vertices and use soft selection. And if we change it to 50 and increase the height, ta-da, we have a hill. But of course we want this polygon as well. And this polygon, change it back to 40. And this polygons. So if we increase now, we will have a large hill. Not that big as a mountain, of course, but big enough. So that's the hill. But as you can see, some vertices at the sides are quite mad, so we need to set the position to 0 again of those, because otherwise you will see this gap inside the city. We need to make sure it's perfectly fits. We don't need to texture this because it's just the hill of the underlay, and we don't give it the texture anyway, so just giving it the same texture as the underlay is good. You won't see it in game. So now the whole hill should be good. We can now increase some polygons ourselves. Without soft selection, those won't come up. We save the underlay. And we can now merge the hill and everything with the underlay. So we select the hill, we select the mountain. Yeah, okay. Mountain. The underlay, yes. Attach the hill, the mountain ground, and we have the lake. We can now delete Lakeville, which is template, and export it. Underlays. No, not that one. Italian City version 2. What is that overlay? Oof. Good, so if you now start up the game again, we will see a hill. It's probably at the location we want it to be. So let's go to Milano again. As you can see, we now have a hill, which will be impossible terrain. And as you can see as well, it's fit quite nice between the roads. So we did a good job. Nice hill. Okay. And oh, I forgot to export the overlay. Yep. That's how when you forgot things. Overlay. No, we won't save. We delete this hill. So now I have the hill here as a placeholder, so we know that we can't place buildings over there. Okay, save it and delete everything which is not an overlay. Export it as overlay. There we go. Let's have a look. So there's one thing I really hate about this, because you need to open and close the game every time you add a new building or change any files. That's one drawback in modding settlements. Like if you change the texture of a unit in battle, you can easily change it without closing the game. You can load, go back to the game and it will load the right texture. At least when you're not in window mode. I'm now recording in window mode, so it won't work for me now. So let's load again. So the hill is still there and we have a road. And somehow these roads over here are good placed and this one is black. I think it has to do with some shadow issue, but I'm not certain about that. But it's very nice between the walls. So that's it. We now have the concrete road. Okay. So now we will go and continue with this side of the map. I wanted that this area will be quite hilly or quite high. So whenever you enter the city, you will need to go up to a hill and then, yeah, uh, being exhausted. So attacking Artelian city from the west side will be quite hard. But the first thing we do now is create another hill over here. So we have a gate here and a gate here. So we'll copy this path. Make sure it's quite good in the middle, which is exactly over here. So this will be a flat area. This as well. Probably going hard as from the start, but we will see. So the first thing I will notice is that this hill must be passable. So we don't need to add collisions over here. But we add the plane again. About this big. We select vertices again. Okay. And over here. Let's save. and create it walkable hill. Okay, we save it. And then we go to the underlay again, I believe. Underlay. We import the walkable hill. So the first thing I noted was we need to create a gap. So we isolate the selection, clone it, walkable hill in, and the isolate select. Oh wait, I'm forgetting something now. I need to extrude it first. So extrude, yes. Then decrease the height. Then use the compound Boolean methods. Pick it. Oh, that's not how we want it. The underlay. Boolean. Pick over. Somehow I can use the union. Delete it. Then delete the yeah, good. Only this part. Oh. Okay, we now have the same. We now have a cap, okay, as you can see. And we select the hill. We select the polygons. Soft selection. And let's create like a hilly area. We then need to make it a little bit nice. So we'll decrease the height over here. So this should be a nice hill. First we isolate the selection, convert it to a polygon, select it and use gap. Detach it, and not a clone, and it is walkable hill ground. This should be the same. And this is just a flat thing. As you can see. We will flip the sides so it's seeable by the engine. Okay. And isolate. And we then can add turbo smooths. 2 iterations. Because now we have a lot of more polygons we can manipulate. We still have the ground. So we want a road, and a road should be at least be passable, not that that weird. So we need to make these the same height. So we will use this. We will use this as well. And we will use this 0, 0, 0. So you walk up the mountain. Then we have 15 as a height. This one is also 15. Oh, I selected multiple. This one's also 15. This one's also 15. This one as well. And we do that for a lot so that at least the top is flat. And now you can select all of them together. Oh. That looks a bit flat indeed. So this will be 14. $12. $8. Yeah. Should be good enough. Let's increase this to 11. Why? Because we didn't have like a platform. So those 3 need to decrease as well. Those 3 as well. Okay. Well, let us first test the hill. Let's give the walkable hill the same texture as the mountain does. So we select the underlay, attach everything again. We use the list now. Lake, hill, mountain ground. Well, everything. Export this as underlay. Good, completed. We can save it again. Go to the overlay. And instead of this, we will now import city underlay walkable hill, which we have over here. We can now create a road. What is this? The height was 12. Okay. 12. Let's first test it. So we save this, delete everything else, not the same route. Export it not as underlay but as overlay. And let's run the mods. And I will grab a coffee right now. So we are back and we load again. Let's continue the campaign. Okay, so we have to check the hill. Ah, we have a hill indeed. Quite weird road. As you can see, the overlay is not good enough, but it's quite okay is here. A little bit lower on this side. Okay, so let's decrease it over here. And we need to decrease the height over here of this section. Okay. So let's first close the game, you can see it. Next thing. Let's use this path over here, make a copy. Increase the height to 15, I believe. Yes. .1. Same for here. It's all the same. That's quite neat, nice. Only problem we have is over here, this little bit. So we need to increase decrease the height here. That's one thing. Move up to this. That's nice. So it was 15.05. From the side you will have nice perspective actually. Now going down the hill. Not done yet. And we're almost at the ground. Here. Good. We now have a straight piece over here. Let's connect these sections. Save the overlay. Do we have a curve somewhere? Yes, we have over here. Copy. Oh, not that one. This one. And use the same again. Rotate it. But then we will go this way. So we copy this section, delete the tail, connect, and connect with this one. And save. So we now have this piece connected with the rest of the city. We can go this way down. Yeah, let's do that. So we need another part, straight one. The height was 15. A little bit higher. So we're now going downwards. Almost at the ground. So we are at the ground again. Oh, we have a lot of piece over here. I'm back in a second. I got a phone call. Okay, I'm back again. So we are done with this section of the road. Can take a straight path again. This is path 45. Hey, Strategy member, welcome back again. I'm streaming for a long time now. I can show you what I'm doing. I'm now creating the Italian city for Total War 1942. As you can see, I have different sections of a city. I have a lake right in the middle. I have a mountain over here, which is unpassable by infantry or any other, but we have to do that in a file. Then we have a lot of roads. I'm creating roads now and connecting them with each other. And yeah, some hills. And of course, we'll do the residential area over here with all the houses, and industrial buildings will be probably over here or in the north. But that's okay. Let's create roads, rotate it. Do we have a curve over here, which we can use, of course. Connect those and render. Should be good. Now just using some straight roads everywhere. And of course, when all of this will be ready, it'll be very nice to fight. I really like to fight on my own maps. And I can show you some of them if you would like. Okay, when I'm done connecting this road, I will stream the different settlements of Total War 1942. And you probably might notice now that creating a settlement is very hard indeed, and it takes a lot of time. But that's of course what we modders are doing, and we do it for fun. And that's the price we pay for it. Yes, I test all the, because I'm creator of all units, I have to test everything. So I tested everything. I also tested the campaign. Problem is that I don't have any crashes, so yeah. And I'm quite a cheater, so it's hard for me to create. I'm also using cheats everywhere. So you might remember the Brutii campaign. That was actually the campaign in a long time I didn't use any cheats. And it was on very hard as well. So yeah, I was quite surprised I managed to do the game without cheats. I'm not sure why I used cheats, by the way, because it's not even needed. Like in Rome 2, you need to pay a lot of time and resources to even get some nice stuff. And that's not the case in Rome 1. So in Rome 2, I actually have to cheat to make the progress a little bit faster. And even then, in Rome 2, it's hard to get things done easily. The research. Okay, so we now have created the roads, etc, etc. Let's test them on the map. Delete all unused things. Oh no. Export. It's an overlay. Yes, it is. Oh, somehow the fountain managed to sneak into it. Okay, let's test it. And I will also test the other settlements as well. And for now, the Italian city doesn't have any custom battle setup right now, so that's why I need to load the campaign and load the city to see the results. But for the other settlements, I have custom battle availability. So let's open Milano again. The problem is that those settlements I'm creating now will be for both Italy and France, because they share the same culture, and some other factions as well. I can't add faction-specific settlements. That's not how Rome works. So as you can see, I need to remove the grass over here, over the roads. Some quite weird issues with the roads as well. It has to be the shadow. So we now have a path over here. We need to add a road to the gate. And we have the hill over here with the road. Oh, it looks nice. Nicely done. Some red. Yeah, it should be shadow issue. Should be fixable somehow. Okay. Well, I now finished creating the roads, the settlements, and then I have to place all the buildings. And I actually need to create buildings for this. I have large town buildings. Same with remove walls. What do you mean with that? You mean the shadow issue? Or this grass over here? It's not. This is how the game engine handles this. Okay, so this is the progress of the Italian city. I will now show you the large town. And I can just load the previous battle I played. Nope. Grass is just some ground type issue. And for the walls, if you play the Greek or the Romans, if you have stone walls, you can see grass against walls. But I removed the walls and created a gap so you can just move inside, at least for the sandbag walls. Okay. So we have a large town over here, and we are defending. So let me first show the town. So we have no walls here. So here we have the buildings. Large hill on top of it with the square, and which is an actually big abbey. And some town buildings over here as well. So this is the large town, and I know how to play with it. For each settlement now you need to have its own strategy, which is very nice, in my opinion, because you can't easily rush into the everything. No, I haven't added forts yet. You mean the one the generals can build, I mean? Yeah. Well, those are just vanilla for now. I can create a military camp for that. Would be nice indeed. I need something on the square. The anti-tank. Snipers over here. So this hill is not possible. So as you can see, all enemies need to walk through at the road beneath this enfilade. And there, some snipers are waiting them to shoot them. Okay. So we have the British, which has some tanks, Matildas. There's some Spitfires, but I have an anti-air truck. That was one. And that was two. I now need to destroy those Matildas. Matildas are actually very strong tanks, but slow. Okay, my tanks were better. As you can see, the enemies using the roads. Now I move my infantry, they will follow the roads. Those infantry are very weak. Should have given them at least some anti-tank guns or something. Well, just previous battle. Let's skip a bit. Yeah, because tanks are actually chariots. Yeah, indeed. Very nice to hijack a tank like that. So let's go to the... So Munich is this large German city. We'll go at that later. It's just the difference. Let's do Munich first. And we are the Russians. Of course. And we are attacking the Germans, which of course defending. Katyushas, of course. To 3485. We are defending against Waffen SS, one Wesp, one Mouse. This will be very hard. I want a hard game. And some bombers as well. And then we have some infantry. And we give them a Tiger. But I have the big artillery. So we're now coming from the east with the very large Russian army. Going after the German settlements. Instead of bombing, we are just going to destroy them all. With infantry.
Мы победим, милый. Воины, ждите приказа.
Yep. And I actually should now attack with a large force of T-34s. Instead of using all those Katyushas, etc.
Отряд, марш! Ни шагу назад! Воины! Отряд, ни шагу назад! Отряд, ни шагу назад! Отряд, ни шагу назад! Воины!
So all those artillery go into the back.
Отряд, марш!
Some Su-5s and S-51s. Which are very powerful. I actually got the Russian version of Rome Total War, which gives me the voices. There's a Soviet version, or Russian version, not Soviet, which has the voices. So I used that one.
Отряд, марш!
The bomber is on the square. Oh, the mouse is here. So this is some area very bugged, and I'm not sure how. I fixed like I tried to fix like everything, but it's quite weirdo. Yep, we also have the Free Friends. I have grass. Nice. That's the first grass. But no error. Okay. I want an error. I want to know what's wrong. Oh, I don't like this. Some random error, probably because of the sounds. That are too much sounds playing. But, well, okay. Let's play the Free Friends. No, let's start Dresden now. So this is the French Republic and the French states. It could be an issue because I'm not playing in window mode. Not sure about that.
Scum strike from the unité. Attendez mes ordres. Unité, tenez la position et battez-vous. Unité, feu à volonté. Tenez la position et battez-vous. Unité.
Oh, this is the German city.
Go for the eyes!
General flees like a coward he is. Press on! Break the spirit of his arm.
On this map you need to cross the bridge to be able to go to the square. So if you are defender you can defend the bridge to actually win this battle. There's no other way to enter the city.
general has thrown his life away. Perhaps our chances of victory with it.
Quite losing a heart here. Indeed. The tanks can't match the German ones. But I do have artillery. So let's destroy the tanks. Probably hitting my own man now. Oh! Oh! Also friends hitting their own man. Well, at least the tank died. Let's snipe the enemy general. Nope, that's not possible. Yes, I sniped the enemy
The
general.
enemy general lies dead.
Nice flip though.
Cur to hell. Go for the eyes! Go for the eyes!
Yeah, indeed. Some things I don't understand why they got removed before the initial release. This guy can't actually shoot. He's just hitting the ground. What a fool. Don't flee. Oh shit, they are fleeing. Did you see that? This lantern. Let's capture the square. Oh, nice hit.
Victory is ours.
Okay.
Let it be a salve upon our wounds.
Let's try one big naval battle before I wrap up. Of course, you're playing the Japanese Empire, and we're allied with the Germans. And we are also allied with the Italian Empire. One Yamato. Well, let's increase the denaries. And some troopers for the bait. The Hoods, of course, Prince of Wales class, Black Swan cruiser, and a lot of troops as well. Iowa class, New Orleans, New Mexico, Chester's, with troopers. Bismarck, 2 of them for Tirpitz. Nope. We tried. Then we have like weird results. Yeah, some things are just weird, we cannot change. So this will be a very big naval battle. I do like naval battles of Total War 1942 over the, well, of course, the vanilla mod, but this version is not ready. So what do you think? Can we add aircraft carriers on this engine? Yes or no? An aircraft carrier needs to launch its squadrons, its airplanes, and then they need to return when they have no fuel or they destroy their targets. It's no way possible, even with animating like everything, it's not possible to add aircraft carriers. You can change how arrows work, but you can't let them return somehow. You can't like fire planes. So you have a carrier and you can fire planes, but they will disappear or die when they hit. So you can like have kamikaze planes everywhere. But that's not how an aircraft carrier works, right? So this is one big fleet. But we are also facing a very big opponent. Hell yeah, Japan uses kamikaze. I need Yamato to be using his rage. So this is quite like a mess. Losing against the Russians, right? They are destroying my navy. They still have Yamato. Well, why isn't he hitting? Oh, I only have Yamato left. Oh. Let's go to my German allies. Oh, I'm going to die. Why are you running from the enemies? You fools! Save me! Finally, the Yamato got the kill. Yes, they are going. Yes, I destroyed that general, not mine. I'm still running. And the Germans are fleeing again. When we all are exhausted, we will all die, no matter who shoots. That's how the game engine works. I'm not sure why. he died. Why? The Allies are winning. Still have a Roma, 2 Bismarcks. Well, this shouldn't be possible. What's this? They all instantly die somehow. Very tired. When they are exhausted, they all die. All ships on the battlefield. So they need to win this battle as soon as possible. Well, 1 Bismarck down. Only 2 axes are remaining. They might actually win this. The Allies are victorious before they got killed instantly. Only 1 Bismarck left. Yes, they all die now. You hear that? They are dying. Oh, nice view. So you shouldn't attack with the large navy. So one thing now is one thing. So we are fighting on Karelia as the Soviets against the Germans. So you know what I'm going to do now. Indeed. There's no target 2 at Karelia though. What is Panzers 4? Panzer 1s. So one last epic battle. Let's go to the open field. Well, I know Karelia is flat. Without that many trees, but whatever. Don't stand still. One target down. They are flanking me. Let's attack them now. They flank. Pursuing 3 tigers. The general is just running away. What a fool. All those bounces. I wasn't about to be in this tiger. Alright, let's destroy this one. These ones first. Oh, he's coming back.
Хвала Господу! Мы убили их полководца. Они обречены.
Well, if you win this, it's at least a close win. This one should be stuck. He is stuck inside the tiger. Ah, at least he got a strong hull.
Вперед! Вперед! Шире шаг!
So they have what, 2 Panzer IVs left? Yes. Let's attack them with the easy ones.
На помощь!
So at least we rewrote history. It would be good if the Germans destroyed us. Okay, I'm going to wrap up now. Next episode we'll probably continuing on the development of the Italian city, creating some new buildings and placing buildings inside the city. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.